Formula One kicks off 2022 with a shakedown at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. This amazing country has a host of over 8 million tourists per year. The city itself just owes 1.6 million residents, but they pack in as well. The country, 47 million, all of them motorsport mad, mainly MotoGP, but Formula One is the eyes of the attention. There's the Sangria Familia, built in 1882, due to be completed in 2026 as well. It shows just how determined this country is for excellence. And in speaking of excellence, here's the 2022 Formula One calendar. It all kicks off in Bahrain before heading off to Saudi Arabia. Australia makes its return finally on a modified circuit. Imola is on the last weekend of April. Then it's Miami, a brand new event. Spain, Monaco and Azerbaijan head over for European races for Canada. Great Britain, the British Grand Prix the first weekend in July. Austria, France and Hungary lead us to the summer break. Belgium, Netherlands and Italy form a triple header. Russia, Singapore and Japan as well back on the calendar. The season rounds out United States, Mexico, Sao Paulo and Abu Dhabi again on the 20th of November. Is it going to be a dramatic year? Well, only time will tell. It starts here with Shakedown. It's day 3 for pre-season testing shakedown at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Howdy, 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 everybody. Welcome to day 3 of pre-season testing in 2021. And yes, I know we have just had a red flag for Pierre Gasly going into the wall, but the track has now gone green, but I couldn't change the red flag whilst we were on the intro bits. So the red flag has now gone back out. The green flags are now racing as well, so the session is back underway. Gasly went in the wall down at, I think, turn 9 as well, so it's not great news on that front. Don't know about you, but I'm not hearing myself quite well up in my ears. Hopefully you're hearing me okay back home. Anyway, where do we start with today and this incredible sort of bizarre session we've been having? We've had 2 red flags already. Fernando Alonso causing number 1, AlphaTauri causing number 2, and it's been going ever so much crazy. We've got 56 minutes left of this first hour, and it's time to bring you up to date with everything that's been going on. To start with, though, let's go over to the YouTube chat and say hello to everybody. Synthos here as well. We hear you well. That's great news as well. It's going to go ice skating in 30 minutes, so won't stay long. Oh, I want to go ice skating this weather. It's cold up in the comms box while I'm wearing a jacket. Hello to Josh Plays as well, who's watching along. 2 red flags today, 2 reds yesterday, 0 reds on the first day. Yeah, it's getting absolutely bizarre with the amount of difference that they've done. But Ferrari, I think, is the big surprise across the 2 days, even with the red flags. Day 1, 715.275 kilometres, and this is why you should do it on an iPad, not on paper. Day 2, they did 701.25 kilometres, so a lot faster for Ferrari. They've done over 14,000 kilometres, which I think is, 440,000 kilometres, yeah, which I think is absolutely fantastic across it all. Anyway, we're all here, we're all ready to go. Let's get on with it and start with the roundup of the day so far. The biggest news, as you can see on the board as well, overnight came from Haas, who have dropped Ukulari Russian branding for the final day of F1 testing amid the Russian forces invading Ukraine as well. Some horrible, horrible images coming over from Ukraine right now as well. Our thoughts and prayers are with you all as well, and hopefully this ridiculous, stupid attack on democracy and free will stop as soon as possible as well. And even I echo what Sebastian Vettel said yesterday, a mad and maniac as well, and ridiculous leadership over there as well, hopefully as well. It's not everybody. This is literally as well, I've been seeing so many people as well from Russia who've been saying as well that the general population is so terrified that there'll be a war, because they don't want that either. This is very much the government of Russia, especially Vladimir Putin, just wanting the USSR back as well and wanting to regain the land for this land's sake. It's absolutely horrific as well, and it's just not needed. So hopefully this will be put to bed quite quickly as well. But the good news on that front is the fact that, from what we've heard this morning, is that they're not making progress in taking Ukraine. The Ukrainian defence is quite well. So our thoughts and prayers were with everyone there as well, including the some 20,000 who walked over 16 hours to Poland last night as well, I saw on Twitter. And they were greeted at the border with hot cups of tea which I thought was just fantastic, and people very much so getting out of that area as quickly as possible. Right, back on to the F1 news as well. So F1 sort of has been put in an unusual position. It's sort of been thrust into the limelight slightly, of course, because as a world championship, Formula One races in Russia. That's due in September as well. But we do have a sort of Russian-backed team and a Russian driver. Haas F1 massively with Nikita Mazepin as the Russian driver, and his father, Dmitry Mazepin, who's quite in with Vladimir Putin as well. He's quite one of the most successful businessmen. He owns a lot of money as well. We've got another red flag out on the circuit. I've just been told Guan Yu Zhou has stopped in the final sector. So we've got another red flag out on the circuit. So a third red flag, and is in 6 minutes it was going? It was unbelievable. Anyways, we come back through. So, yeah, this is now leading as well with very interesting things. We're waiting for a press conference from Gunther Steiner. Steiner starts out media session by apologising for bailing out of yesterday's press conference. Urgent issues and deep meetings I couldn't miss. That's from the race at the moment as well, that we've just been told. So this is what's going on right now. Gunther Steiner is in a press conference with the world media, and we'll be hearing quite a lot of what's going on. There's the stoppage for Guan Yu Zhou. The Alfa Romeo is still out there. Zhou has posted a personal best in the second sector, but is shown having stopped in sector 3. That's not great news. So, yeah, so the Gunther Steiner as well, having a meeting. Ukulari has been stripped from all of the Haas buildings and the car as well. The car now running in a pure white livery with a black front wing, no longer that controversial Russian front wing. That's all gone. That was controversial even last year. So that has all gone as well. The update is that the Ferrari team have not removed their Russian sponsorship, which I think is quite interesting. So why have Haas removed Ukulari and Ferrari haven't moved theirs is unsure. The only thing I can think of is the fact that because Ukulari is a major money source of wealth for Haas come from Russia, from Dmitry Mazepin as well. Dmitry Mazepin hasn't been sanctioned yet, but the rumour is he is going to be. So there's now a lot of pressure on Haas in terms of the fact is that if Nikita Mazepin isn't paying for his drive, which is 20% of the income Haas have no reason to keep Nikita Mazepin in the car. So from what I've been learning is that in the next couple of days even as well, because it's certainly not going to be done here, by the time we maybe even get to the Bahrain test, I believe that Nikita Mazepin will no longer be a driver of Haas F1, and Ukulari, who is the major sponsor behind Haas, will have withdrawn, of course, because if they get their assets frozen, there's no money going into the team. Where this leaves Haas F1, we don't know. It's a long problem for them now of not having major sponsorship. And for once, I wish they just actually have a decent sponsor. 2019 with Rich Energy and many people call him Bad Santa. Williams Story as well, who is still chambering on. He's coming back to Formula One. He's not. Then, of course, we've had this entire 2021 scandal with Ukulari and Haas and Mazepin paying for the drive and everything. And now this, it's unbelievable. Josh Plays asks as well, he says, I thought Andretti were buying Haas. No, Andretti are coming in on their own in 2026. I don't think they want to buy Haas at the moment. They offered last year and it didn't work out. Andretti wanted to buy Haas. They said no, surprisingly. And then Andretti tried to buy Sauber and that didn't work out either. And yeah, Josh Play says he will replace Mazepin, an F2 driver, and Synthell's got it bang on. Pietro Fittipaldi, who is the reserve driver at Haas, who late last night was spotted filming and taking photos with the F1 photographer as well. So he's very clearly up there as well. This is a news that's going to keep developing, and we've got more from Scott Mitchell, who asked if Haas had a contingency plan in place given the Russia-Ukraine situation has been developing over a period of time. Steiner says, we haven't been planning for this. We monitored the situation. We're not sat there ignorantly waiting. But I've never experienced something like this, so I don't know how it would go down. So Haas look to be even in more trouble now as well. As I know it's a small thing in the grand scheme of things as well, but what we cover is Formula One. We don't cover world politics. but we cover the Formula One and just adding our own opinion on these matters, and that's crucial for Haas, who could be maybe not there. Haas will make a decision on the long-term future with its Ukulele sponsorship next week. Team principal Gunter Steiner has said after taking the decision to remove their logos and the colours of the Russian flag today. That's, as you can see, on the racefans.net. So it's all going through. Yeah, the red flag is Guan Yu Zhou is stuck at turn 10 as well, that tricky long corner. So that's why the red flag is out again. Anyway, back to everything up as well, because I think we've covered the Haas situation quite well. You can just see Franz Tost there in the image just at the bottom there on the race fan says, AlphaTauri team principal Franz Tost on yesterday's meeting between the F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali and teams. We discussed the situation with Ukraine. The teams and FOM FIA will earlier or later come up with a statement, and then you'll hear about everything. Okay, so something must have been decided, and now they're just drafting what's going to happen. I'm keeping my phone on as well because we're expecting quite a lot of information coming through as well in the next hour about all of this from Haas and everything from Russia as well. We're getting news throughout the day, so it's quite interesting. Okay, back on to what's been happening today. It's not been much, though, with cooler track temperatures as well. Risk of rain all day is 20%. Cloud cover as well. The track temperature was just 7.6 degrees, which is very, very, very cold out there as well. The coldest it's been all week long. What that basically means is conditions aren't terrible for track running, but running will be very unrepresentative compared to what F1 teams will face during the season. The green light did go on, however, 3 hours ago, and Max Verstappen was the first out there for Red Bull as well, after Red Bull had a very bad day yesterday as well in terms of their reliability on the car. Stop for Sergio Perez meant that Red Bull only did 364.65 kilometres compared to day one when they did 687, so almost half that was completed by Perez yesterday in terms of kilometres covered on the engine. Vettel and Russell went out behind Verstappen as well as they go forward. Guan Yu Zhou, Gasly, Alonso and Leclerc next to head out as well. Mazepin, Norris and Latifi emerged. So all 10 cars at one point were out on the track this morning, which was great to see. Everything as well. Aero spikes and aero rakes were all the way around the circuit as well, which was quite surprising. Mazepin in the all-white Haas is on track along with Norris and Albon, not Latifi previously stated, so it's Albon out there, not Latifi. But they have dual-wielded the car this morning, both the Williams drivers, so they've swapped over from Albon, who did 21 laps. Latifi's now just gone out doing 5 laps as well, so that's what's happening there. Quick check on the only times. Leclerc set the first benchmark of the day on 1:23.589 as well. He was on the I think he was on the C5 tyres actually, so not it's the softest rubber so that they can heat it up quite quickly. Not much there. Let's go over to the group chat quick because Synthel says, the new corner, I'm not sure if that's T9 or T10. It's T10. Turn 9 is still Kamsa. It's turn 10, which is the bottom half of the track, the new hairpin on the circuit as well, as you can see on the graphic just below me. Just below me down here. Look. Just there. Just there. Anyway, they'll wet the track for the PM session, won't they? That's what I've been hearing as well, because the rain is coming as well, presumably this afternoon, that the track is going to be artificially soaked, so they can get some wet tyre running in as well. So it looks like that's what I've been hearing. Whether it happens or not is a different question. He spun and got stuck in the gravel. Hopefully we'll have a photo of that at some point as well, which all comes through. Anyway, back up to the Autosport tweet deck as well. Verstappen takes over at the top. He did a 1:22.653 as he begins as well. Red Bull have a bit of mileage to catch up on, as I said. Perez did half of it as well. Alonso fastest for Alpine, 1:21.242 on the C3 tyres. And that is when the red flag came out, because Alonso was into a long series of laps and then all of a sudden, bang, as well. And the engine went, some form of pipe just burst and the car almost caught fire. A lot of blue smoke all the way around as well. So not great news. I think I've got them. I think they're just on the next half of the Twitter slide. So I'll grab over them as soon as I can. Yeah, it is. So I'll get it back in a second. So that was the first red flag. Alonso stopping out on the circuit as well. Pulled over as well with a problem for the Alpine. Got back to the pit lane as well. Red flag came back in, and Verstappen went fastest with a 1:21.192. Mazepin and Guan Yu Zhou went back out onto the circuit as well. Small improvements when the red flag came in, so it's all good news there. In terms of the facts earlier on. Now, an hour ago, Russell headed down the C3 tyres to give Verstappen and Albon some company. Alonso and Alpine actually stated as well that Alpine and Alonso's smoky stop. Fernando asked to stop the car on track after the car lost pressure in the final sector. It's been recovered to the garage where we'll investigate the issue further. I think that's quite an interesting situation. So it was a pump issue, we're being told as well. No clarity from Haas on Mazepin. No clarity from Haas on Mazepin sponsor. Team boss Gunter Steiner says he will work on the situation next week. It's worth sticking with the Mazepin given the situation and his performance? I think that's a question that Andrew Benson said. There are legal issues, so we have to go through them and see what we can do. Oh, so Andrew Benson has asked Gunter Steiner, is it worth sticking with the Mazepins given the situation and his performance? And Gunter Steiner's replied saying, there are legal issues we have to go through and then we will see what comes out. I think Yukalari are gone, and I think Nikita Mazepin is gone as well, which is unfortunate for him that it's had to end his career this way. He was showing some improvement towards the tail end of last year, but on a personal note as well, if he is gone, I can only say thank goodness, because I've never liked Nikita Mazepin as a driver, and I've made no statement on the fact that he's no good for Formula One. He's not good for Formula One, and he's not a very nice person, but he did try and change, and I must admit what he's done, as he's a leader as well with a children's charity, which I would give him credit for. He does a lot of great work there, but one good deed doesn't make up for a lifetime of being a terrible driver and a frankly awful person. Anyway, back to the news on the board. 1:21.125 for George Russell on his installation lap, went second. He was 5/10 off the pace as well of Verstappen. Moving up, Russell made another improvement with a 1:27.67 to remove him with a 10th of Verstappen as well. As we keep going up, Guan Yu Zhou, Russell and Albon went 3 wide almost down towards turn 1. They were following each other quite well as well. I've seen the photos of it as well, so it's great news that these new cars can follow each other. Russell's timesheet topper from day one has just joined the 120 gang to go third quickest. So Norris has actually now dropped to 6th on a 1:28.27, so that's a bit of a change there. Guan Yu Zhou on the C2 is chipping away at his personal best lap time as well. Albon says the 2022 F1 cars require finesse when driving on the limit as well, or is it finesse? It'd be finesse, won't it? That's something that's going on there. Anyway, further on, red flag's still out there. The session will resume at 12:22 local times. That's in 5 minutes, I believe. The green flag will come back out, which is fun news. Glad we got another red flag actually, because it kind of gives me time to update it. That's the third red flag of the day. Alonso, Gasly, and now Guan Yu Zhou, who stopped out the circuit. There's been a driver change at Williams, Latifi in the car now as well. Haas announced that his car has a suspected leak, which means the mechanics look into it. Mazepin has only completed 9 laps so far this morning, so another problem for Haas. They had this problem on the first day as well of testing, which is never, ever great news. Latifi up and running on the C4s, and Latifi's gone P5 actually, a 1:20.699. Then the red flag come out as well. F1 has announced Mazepin won't take part in today's press conference held during the lunch break, but Haas's team principal, Gunter Steiner, speaking to the media, as we've started to hear as well what's coming out from that. Guan Yu Zhou, before he spun, has popped up to 9th on a 1:22.371 as well. Mercedes on the C4 tyres was a 1:19.608 as well. And if we move up, with the red flags coming in and out, that was quite a long spin for Guan Yu Zhou. You could hear the tyres lose the fight for the grip quite soon after he turned in, but it looked until he was 2/3 of the way round the bend for Zhou to properly drop it, then continue into the kitty litter as well. So there's the session. Will resume at 1:22. That's 5 minutes from now as well. Let's go over and take a look at some of the photographs, which means we've got to open up this half of the graphic and swing over. Here's Fernando Alonso this morning and what happened to his Alpine as well. Just some form of oil leak, I believe, and it caused a fire and a pressure loss as well, and just went bang, up it goes as well on the start-finish straight. That brought out the red flag. Just quickly back to the YouTube chat, because I have got those pictures now, but I can't get them onto the screen. but I'll take a look at them. It would be fun if Enzo joins soon too, and then we have 2 Fittipaldis in F1, absolutely, as well, with Enzo Fittipaldi and Pietro Fittipaldi as well. Enzo Fittipaldi? It is Enzo Fittipaldi, isn't it? Because the other one was Emerson Fittipaldi. Yeah, so it is Enzo Fittipaldi. Just got to make sure of that. There's too many things changing so much. Hello, this is what we've just heard from the race.com. Mazepin future needs to be resolved. Steiner has hinted during the session that Mazepin's future is not guaranteed. As I said, asked by Scott Mitchell about the situation, Steiner says explicitly that it needs to be resolved. So this is looking like this could be the end of days for Nikita Mazepin and his father, Dmitry Mazepin, as well. As I noticed, there was a Simpson meme going around of Dmitry Mazepin talking with Vladimir Putin as well, and Lisa Simpson saying as well, I knew that photo, I told him that photo would come back to haunt him. Session to resume. There's the car just at the exit of the pit lane, or the entrance of the pit lane, I should say. So that is the Alpha Tauri back in the pit lane now. Session will restart in 60 seconds time, actually. So we are going to head back to green flag running. Haas got an issue, right? Yep, there's some form, it's an oil leak or something going on. That's the official news, is that something's going on. You can almost guarantee that there's something that they're not telling us down there as well. As I'm having a real problem getting Twitter back up and running as well, because we're trying to get there. I'm trying to get this back up, and Twitter has gone into a nightmare. If anyone's got an iPad handy that I can connect to the computer, that's even better. There we go, look. You press the wrong buttons and all of a sudden it all goes wrong. Okay, I need to be over here, which is hashtag F1 testing, to see some of the images. There's Steiner insists that future of the team is not in doubt. The team are not affected by this. I spoke to them yesterday and told them there is nothing to worry about. We took the right decision to send a message to everybody. So it looks like it's okay. Red flag is out. Green flag is back underway now as well. So the session is back to green flag running, I believe. If we take a look, yep, green flag is out. And Scott Mitchell, when the green light went out, has put out a comment saying Russian banks and business people have had / are having their assets frozen, and the UK government, for example, wants to freeze SWIFT bank payments. It has been speculated this could stop Haas getting its sponsorship money if the Ukulele deal did continue. Steiner said that that up to now the official sanctions had not influenced our business. I would need to check if the SWIFT is switched off and how that works. Yeah, I think we all do there. He says Ukulele is a global company, so I don't know how that would work out. Well, if they are Russian descent, they are a Russian bank and a Russian business as well, and they are being sanctioned, and they will be sanctioned as well. So it's not going to grow quite up there as well. As that's never, ever, ever going to go down extremely well. Okay, further back on then, back to Twitter, as we try and take a look at some images as well, as everything's going a bit dodgy up here. Let's scroll down. There's a look at the Haas car without the livery on of Ukulele. You can see the black front nose cone and the white liveried car as well. Back with the still redness of Haas that you can't resume because that is always their colour. Need my thing back over here. Come on, computer, work with me this morning. It's the last day of testing. As we try and look out for some as well for photographs. This is a video saying that DRS in action though. So this is the first time we've seen DRS for George Russell. Hopefully you're seeing that on the board as well. Let's see another look at it then. This is the new DRS. So that's what it looks like. Open and snap shut. It does look beautiful, doesn't it? Out there as well. I'm very much up for that car being a world championship situation. Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc, and Vettel and Norris out on the track. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars of the 10 going out there as well. Hopefully we can stay green for the remainder of this one as well. As there's the Haas car in more detail as well. We're just trying to find out more information about it as well. And no photographs are popping up either. This is very bizarre for this day of testing. I know we've got some photos about the accident. Let's see F1 Twitter. Hashtag F1 testing often gives us quite a lot of images about the spins. Oh, here we go. This is Guan Yu Zhou off at turn 10. Bingo. So, yeah, it's down at the hairpin of turn 10, and he has beached it into the gravel as well. Quite similar to what actually we saw Yuki Tsunoda do, where he just stopped it at the outside of turn 10 during the race last year, and caused the safety car that shuffled up the race as well and allowed Hamilton and Verstappen to battle with each other. Let's scroll further down. I know I'm probably making you all blind right now, but this is what we need to get to. Okay, Pierre Gasly's car in the wall. This is what caused the second red flag of the day as well, as you can see. Looks like he's damaged the front suspension. He's definitely has. That's the nose cone of the car damaged, front suspension damaged as well. So a lot of issues down there for Pierre Gasly. That's an unusual place to go off, though. Look, is it turn 5? I think, looking at that looks to me like turn 5. So it's a downhill section into the Seat corner. Very bizarre. Here's Guan Yu Zhou again, off at turn 10. So he's gone in sideways, actually. He's facing the wrong way back to the track. That's a very unusual spin. So he has drifted off backwards. Very, very bizarre. Broads asks, any way to watch it? Actually, I'm sorry to tell you, no, because there's no coverage from this first test. So things like watching Twitter and getting the photos from people at the track and all the updates is the only way we can cover it. For the first time, everyone's in the same boat. I'm so sorry to say that they're not showing it. Otherwise, I would have shown it. I do know, Broads, I can tell you that F1 TV are doing a sum up every night, and they'll be available on YouTube where you can watch some track action. Sky Sports F1, I've got a roundup of the day at 8 o'clock and 8:30 in the UK. You've got Ted's Notebook. That too can be watched on YouTube. And that's all the information I've got. I'm sorry about that. What are we looking at Twitter for? Because we have no pictures. We have 0 times. Live. We get a little update on them. We have no TV pictures. So this is the only way we can go. We can go for Twitter. We can go to the YouTube chat. So give yourself a wave. And we go to the race.com, which gives us all of the testing blog updates, as we can say. Ed Straw is from the McLaren virtual session. And the team principal there, Andreas Seidel, has touched upon the Russian Grand Prix situation as well. A few minutes ago, as you know, F1, FIA and the teams, we all met last night, which was a productive meeting and an open discussion for where we as a McLaren made our position clear that from our point of view, the Russian Grand Prix is unattainable under the current circumstances. Please understand I can't disclose any more regarding those conversations, but we can expect F1 as well as making a statement immediately. So, okay, if McLaren have said that it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. What are you looking into it for? That was the spin because we had a red flag just a few moments ago for Guan Yu Zhou spinning down at turn number 10. What have you searched for the info? On Twitter, at Autosport Live and at racefans.dot.net. So at racefans.net. That's got all the information. Chris Metland, which is at Chris Metland F1. He's at the track. He's giving us some great info as well. And, of course, the race.com has a live blog of the test as well as times. And for those of you who do want times, we never got round to it because we're under red flags. This is currently how the times look starting here on the day 3 morning. So this is now after 3.5 hours of running. It's George Russell, who is the fastest driver out there. He's in the Mercedes on the C4 tyre. He's done a 1:19.233, and he's done that for 60 laps. He's just gone fastest this second, displacing long-time runner Max Verstappen from the top. He's done a 1:19.756 on the C3 tyres, 51 laps in total as well. Further down, Vettel third for Aston Martin, a 1:19.905 C4 tyre compounds, done 40 laps. Charles Leclerc fourth for Ferrari, a 1:20.092 C3 tyres. He's done 39 laps now, it's just updated to. As you can see, and as we come through on the board, Charles Leclerc fourth for Ferrari, a 1:20.092 C3 tyres, 39 laps. Latifi fifth for Williams, a 1:20.699 C4 tyres, 5 laps. But they have swapped over. Williams did have a problem this morning as well for when Albon was in the car. So that's why they put Latifi in early as well, as Albon went to do media briefings and then have a massage as well because he was complaining about a lot of neck ache, which I can understand for after being a year out from Formula 1. Norris is P6 for McLaren, a 1:28.27. C3 tyres, 45 laps. Alonso 7th on a 1:21.242. C3 tyres, 12 laps. Guan Yu Zhou 8th. Alfa Romeo on a 1:21.242. C3 tyres, 12 laps completed because, of course, his car went bang bang about 3 hours ago, and they've got to replace that before the afternoon session. Guan Yu Zhou, P8, just gone off. He's done for the day now as well, on a 1:21.939. Gasly 9th, 1:22.469. He's done for the morning after crashing as well. So the three drivers caused the red flags, 7th, 8th and 9th on the board. Albon 10th for Williams. He's done for the morning as well, 1:22.652. C2 tyres, 21 laps. Nikita Mazepin has having problems as well, on 11th, fastest, a 1:26.229. Go back to the YouTube chat quickly. Thank you very much for the subscription, Broads, as well. Hopefully you enjoy the coverage. We do watch-alongs of everything as well, and usually we have a live timing ticker down the bottom here giving where everybody is, and we have a driver tracker as well as access to team radio during the race. So go and have a look back at Abu Dhabi, all the races that we did last year, and you'll see that we have everything as well, and even Formula E actually. So just take a look around and hopefully enjoy it. It's nice alternate commentary. Well, still here, but got to go any moment now. Hopefully you enjoy your ice skating, Synthel as well. If Ian Birch was in the box, he'll be saying about as well. I think he's just doing the car at the moment, which is getting it ready. I think I can hear something from the back. Anyway, what is this we've got from Twitter? Trackside update from Motorsport Live as well. The sun is finally starting to poke out after a murky morning. Temperatures are still low. Mild with a track temperature at only 19.8 degrees. That is unbelievable. How cold it is, for especially at Barcelona as well. A difference of 3 years. Last time I was at testing for F1, which was 3 years ago, thanks to COVID, as well. It was so hot. You were literally there in a t-shirt and shorts. It's unbelievable. But the one thing I do like about it as well is the fact that everybody else around the F1 paddock was in long sleeve shirts and even some with big coats, and it was really, really hot. It was like 28 degrees, but they don't feel it. So the one thing I learned from that is that if you go to Spain in February and it's still hot to you, everybody's going to look at you and think that you must be some cold, freezing nut, because I was in shorts and a t-shirt for nearly the entire test. It was quite unbelievable, that as well. And I even saw one person when I went back to the airport on the way out. It was the hottest day that we'd been there. It was up to now 32 degrees, something or other. And this woman was wearing a big fur coat and she was shivering. Now, I know heat stroke also gives you the symptoms that you're cold and shiver, but this was ridiculously, like, she was actually cold, which the language barrier wasn't so bad. I would have asked her, are you actually cold? I would have had a conversation, but we had to catch the flight, and I can't speak Spanish as one of the great reasons. Anyway, trackside update from Autosport. A little bit of racing down at turn 10. Verstappen dives by Norris on the inside and surges ahead, but the McLaren stays snapping at the heels until the final chicane. They are pushing on right now as well. Go to the YouTube chat. Broad says, you seem like a nice guy and you're really in love with this sport. Oh, completely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That means a lot. And yes, completely in love with this sport as well. Never ever going to stop as well, no matter what happens. Silva says as well, thank you. I haven't ice skated in so many years, so it's going to go very wrong. Oh, it won't go wrong as well. I thought exactly the same thing. I haven't gone ice skating for years. After like 3 or 4 minutes of falling and not getting it right and stopping, I was back up and running around, so it's going to be great fun as well. No hablo inglés. Soy largo, yes. Parla inglés? That's something I had to use a lot. Do you speak English as well? But to be honest with you, towards the end, I was picking up the language quite quick, and I could speak basic Spanish by the end of it as well. It's all gone now, but it's sort of like you do acclimatise. It's really weird. It's true. You become your own universal translator. It's really unbelievable what goes on there as well. Like that comment there from Bros as well. It'd be interesting as well. I can smell burning oil actually from the commentary box, which is worrying me a little bit, because if that's something that nobody's paying attention to, I've got to go sort it, which is really, really annoying, because I can't leave you with anything as well. So I don't know. I'm going to have to send a text message. Well, this is the car could be on fire outside the commentary box, and I've got to send a text message. Isn't that lovely as well? So this is going to be a live text message. I could actually text. Is the car all right? I can smell burning. There we go. And tweet said, oh, somebody's out there. Good. Don't know who that was, but I could smell burning. That's never great news. You can go check. It's fine. Thank you very much. No, I'm all right. I can stay because otherwise there's nothing there. Let's go to the race.com quick because Russell has stayed fastest and he's gone fastest actually on the C5 tyre compound. Now, that's very interesting note considering that. Here we go. Look, more information that I painstakingly put out last night on my own notes of testing. Let's get it a bit closer there. I had to write them out. Norris's fastest time on day one was set on the C4 tyres. That was a 1:19.568. Then it was Leclerc fastest time yesterday. He set that on the C3 tyre compound, a 1:19.689. So Russell's time now is a 1:19.233 and goes to be the fastest of this Barcelona test so far. But he has done that on the C5 tyre compounds for the first time. That's very interesting. Now, talking about flags, I have a massive Danny Ricciardo flag behind me as well. Oh, my word. That is a big Danny Ricciardo flag as well. The Ninja Honey Badger as well is what Megan calls him when she gets to the comms box later. But yeah, the Honey Badger's going up there as well. If you've got a passion for Danny Ricciardo, that's a passion and obsession as well. No... Let's get the chat up first before anything. Yeah, if you've got a passion for Danny Rick, no problem there as well. Everybody, I think, has a passion for Danny Ricciardo. And actually, as well, Ricciardo, I think, one of the most well-deserved race winners from last year as well. Out of them all, I think Ricciardo deserved it the most. He brought McLaren's first win since 2012 as well, not Lando Norris as well. Vettel's having a C5 run as well and pumps in the first sector. He's only 1,000th off of George Russell and Verstappen, so that's getting quite quick out there as well on the board. So looking to be good stuff there as it all goes forward. Oh, Bro says, I'm from Oz, so it makes sense. Welcome to a long list of people from Australia who actually watch us here as well. But as we come through, flowing lap times, general buzz, post-race flag as well. Vettel is on softer tyre compounds again. Look to be setting faster, and he is looking faster as well. So, 3 red flags this morning. One for Fernando Alonso after he went bang 5 minutes or 50 minutes into testing. One for Pierre Gasly after he crashed in the wall and broke the front suspension off. And a third for Guan Yu Zhou, who spun into turn 10. Big news is, though, as Ian Birch joins us in the comms box, and I get to talk to him for the first time today about Formula One. Haas has made a decision on its... Haas will make a decision on its long-term future with Ukulari as well next week. As you have a problem with your headset there, it's still going off. Just put it on. I'll get that as well. Hello, how are you?
Not brill.
Not brill.
Yeah, do you know they've? If people have seen the pictures, the everything to do with Russia has gone off the car and off the garage door. It's going to be harder to get it off the
uniforms.
Uniforms.
Yeah. There you go. If you take that back and you can pop it on, I'll put that on as well.
Someone suggested that they wear Ferrari uniforms.
Who was that then?
Someone suggested, me.
Oh, okay. I was going to say who was suggesting.
Because they're basically Ferrari, aren't they?
They are basically Ferrari, yeah. But interesting enough, from
Champions,
what we point out,
I am late because I'm trying to get your mum Champions League final tickets for Paris.
I must ask though, what was the smoke? I could smell burning oil.
Yeah, well, it was.
Oh, was there steam and smoke? Because I could smell it in the com box. I could smell it. It's just out there, and I could smell it.
It was your mum's car.
Okay, yeah.
It's got a small oil leak that is a seal that seals up after you warm it up, and so the kitchen roll, 4 lots of kitchen roll that go in to stop it until it warms up to soak it up, got hot itself and was smoking.
Vettel's gone P3,
but
by
the car's
way.
all right now.
Oh, that's good then. Vettel's gone P3, a 1:19.824, so fraction off of Verstappen's time as well.
Well done, Sebastian, for what you said yesterday. People are more important than anything, you know. And as we said yesterday, this conflict has killed people on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's true, how many Russian soldiers are dead? Right,
450.
450. Yeah. That's a lot of people waking up this morning on both sides, both in Ukraine and things, who have lost their loved ones. And, you know, I've been watching some of the things, and, yeah, we should try and keep politics out of Formula One. But this has gone past politics. Now, Mazepin's dad has not been sanctioned yet. Neither has his company. But Haas have being an American team, working in an American-owned sport. They believe that they shouldn't have. They should show solidarity with the West, and not
red
have
flag.
their stuff on the cars.
Another red flag. Don't know why just yet, but that's just come out. So a fourth red flag in this morning's session. And also
we do try and keep politics out of Formula One. We don't say anything in Saudi Arabia too much, and we don't say any although Sebastian and Lewis do. And also in China. And there's various parts of the world, including Abu Dhabi and places like that, which are not exactly things. Right? As our Prime Minister, I don't like our Prime Minister, but, as he said the other day, the reason RT, the Russian state TV-owned network, is still on RTV is because we believe in freedom of speech.
That's the only reason it's still on in the UK.
Yeah, but anybody who's seen it, they give a totally opposite view to what the Western media does. And, that's why the Russian people don't believe what's going on, because of the fact that they're being fed this misinformation. But then again, sport is sport. Whether you're chucking bottles at our footballers for the colour of their skin, which is equally disgusting, and it's stupid. It's stupid that the things people do to each other just amaze me. They really do. And this is all political. It's about Putin boosting his own ratings. He's had a thing about Ukraine for years. Mazepin, I don't know whether he will drive or Fittipaldi in the first race.
Well,
but he's definitely been in the car this morning before it had a water leak.
Yeah. What I've heard is the fact is actually Andrew Benson asked Gunter Steiner in the press conference that he had, where does this leave you with the Mazepins and the money as well? And he said there's some legal proceedings to go through, but nothing's confirmed just yet. But from what we learned from it, Mazepin's going to go.
Yeah, if he's a paid driver, so he's not a paid driver. He pays to drive.
Yeah, if he's not paying, you don't get it for free.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a comment that could go either way. To be fair,
his father pays him.
Yes,
Just
quickly on the YouTube chat before it disappears as well. Broads asks, "Where are you from?" We're in the UK, covering this one in our com box as well. Northeast of England. Am I correct there?
Yeah,
lovely. Octavius as well has returned and says Ricciardo's really benefiting from the reset with the new rules. Sounds like he's finding the new car more comfortable than he's expecting it.
Let's just say about the Haas.
Yeah,
we have heard a lot of good things.
That
about
the car's
the Haas,
good.
and that if it can get reliability, it might cause the bottom end of the system to be shuffled up, and it's really possible with what we saw yesterday that Alfa Romeo could be the bottom team this year.
Indeed, yeah, that's what I've been hearing as well. Just quick, we've got a statement here as the red flag is out for Guan Yu Zhou is stopped in the first sector as well. Fourth red flag, and it's for Zhou again, the Alfa Romeo, which was on top. Oh, for God's sake, it's doing my head in now.
Zhou was talking to Ted last night.
It stopped in the second lap at the pits in the first sector. And just quickly, no further running for Alpine as well. These are the statement 1 and 2 have been deleted. Here we go. Alpine statement in full. That'll do it a lot better. After further investigations in the garage following Fernando Alonso's on-track stoppage earlier this morning, the team can confirm the issue was a problem with the hydraulics. A minor sealing issue led to a fire in the back of the car. The team has successfully completed 266 laps during the 3 days of Barcelona shakedown. Repairs on the car will continue, and as a result, we won't be running for the remainder of the day. We look forward to being back in action at the next test in Bahrain.
Right. The Alpine sounds like it's had a similar problem to your mum's Chevrolet.
Does sound it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like a small oil leak. Mind you, hydraulic fluid can easily cause a fire as well.
It could, yeah. As we're going back as well. Have I missed anything? Octavia says a source confirmed the car suffered an oil leak. Yeah, you're the source that the car's got an oil leak. As well. Guan Yu Zhou, as they say, that is what's caused this red flag as we're waiting 14 minutes to go. The last hour has seen 3 red flags alone. Today, this morning, has seen 4. So that's 6 red flags in total across the 6 sessions that we're going to have in total.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the time. You wouldn't expect any less than that number of red flags, would you?
Nah, it was not about the same.
It's going to be between 6 and 10 over the 3-day period, because these cars are brand new. They're totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to talk about the difference in the rake height at the back of the Red Bull and Ferrari against the Mercedes and the McLaren, and one being a lot higher than the other. And now with this new virtually back to a skirt. Do you remember the old skirt from a few years ago?
Yes, yeah.
Right, when the car goes round the corners now, like we were saying on the very first day of testing, right, a tremendous pressure is pushed onto the car, and because it's now got virtually no rake to it, right, they are actually breaking the floors of these cars.
The Alpine had a massive crack in the side of the rear wing as well. Just having this 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, because that was when I was going like that, and you said don't do that, things like that. But it was just to decide that if you go that way, this one's gonna have a lot of pressure put on it. If you go that way, it's that.
Yeah.
And they thought it'd be okay because they've got bigger tires, and the tires detect the pressure, but they're not, because these cars are the most aerodynamic for a long time.
We missed this. We missed this.
I love the inside vanes.
They do look cool.
And I love the Ferrari's method of, as Ted describes it, using a cheese, the wrapper off a Baby Bell. The air intake actually just pushes the air up.
Yeah.
And pulls it down. Which is and it goes over the hot air ducts as well that are in there. It's such genius how Ferrari and Red Bull on paper have done some amazing things.
They've got the fastest car at the moment as well. Looks like as well, but Ferrari, as I said,
I don't think Red Bull have they?
No. Ferrari.
I don't think Red Bull have turned their engines up yet.
Ferrari, though, 715.275 kilometres on day 1. Day 2, 701.25. So that's over 140,000 kilometres they've done on one engine. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Green flag is going to be back out.
As we were saying over the last 2 days that these engines are throwaway engines.
Yeah.
Right. They, I think Mercedes did use one for a couple of practice sessions later on last year, and I think Ferrari did as well. But generally, these engines are just the spare engine.
Yeah, they're the ones that get
practice
bolted
sessions.
in. Yeah.
And very much the spare engines for the practice sessions.
Just quickly, we didn't spot this when we came on air, but the green flag has gone back out, by the way. France Tost has confirmed that Liam Lawson will have FP1 runnings for AlphaTauri this year, while Yuri Vips will have FP1 outings for Red Bull. This comes with the news that at least twice a year, each of the cars must, in FP1, run a junior driver from a junior series. So that's even Lewis Hamilton will have to sit out of a session. George Russell, Max Verstappen, they'll all have to sit out of a session at one point in the season to give junior drivers the role. So it's going to be Yuri Vips.
Robert Schwartzman and who's the other one guy?
Artem Markelov. Yeah.
Right. They are affected by what's happening as well. Robert Schwartzman was one of my tips to go right to the top, and get a top Formula One drive one day. So this is having an effect not just on drivers that aren't that good like Mazepin, but it's having a good effect on the young lads that have got a lot of talent like Schwartzman.
Also, the one information as well is that, as we saw, the Russian drivers could apply for racing licenses in different countries. Like we see Ed Jones, who is British, races under the Dubai license because of his mother.
Yeah.
So there's a chance there.
Zoe, his number, he can't have an 8 in it for some reason or other because all the relevant 8s are taken or something.
Yeah, and he can't have 33 either.
So he's done something really genius because he's got 24 on his car, right? 2 4s are 8.
Yeah, that's quite clever. 2 4s 8. Oh, that is genius. That is genius. Well, everybody said about Mick Schumacher and the 47 number. Originally, he wanted 7, but
they couldn't have it.
They couldn't have it because Kimi Räikkönen had it.
47 was...
Yeah, he just picked 47, and then he read the fans' version of saying, "Oh, it's 4-7 for Michael," and he liked that. He's accepted that's what it is.
And that's how
now.
that came about. And 44 for Lewis is because his dad's old Chevette that he used to pull his go-kart on.
Yeah.
Its number was 44. I think P. I think
44P. Yeah.
I think it's registration.
And that's why he's got that one there.
All weird and wonderful facts that we're just filling.
Yes, as the green flag is out, and nobody's headed back out there as well. But at the moment, I'm not seeing anybody. Down to 3 drivers in the second
and of course,
there's
nothing really coming in over the Sky Channel either, because at the moment it's Warnock, Stevie Warnock is talking about the Cup final here, which is another thing. It's Chelsea are playing, and they're owned by Abramovich.
That's something complete,
he might have been here a long time, but nobody still knows where he got his money from.
Questions in the chat as well saying, Broad says, I'm friends with Jaden who runs Formula races.
Yeah, we've got no idea where his money comes from.
No, we don't know.
No, because we would we would like his money, wouldn't we?
Yeah, there's some things going on there because he's quick and reliable. Yeah, I've always found that Formula races is actually quite reliable because he does amazing because he gets all the information from every journalist and tags back to them. But sometimes there's a journalist you've never heard of. Even I found that from all the time I've been watching Formula One and even been to the test as well. There's always a journalist that you don't know about who gets a really good bit of information. He puts it out there and I can find it quite quickly. So it's just a great thing as well.
And Octavius McBoville, I'll give you a clue. They all do that.
Yeah. Yes, actually,
they all nick each other's things. It's called. Have you ever seen the 10 o'clock run of a national newspaper where they've got a scoop and nobody else has? All the other headlines are not that. By the time the 2 o'clock run goes, they've all got it.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's because they steal it off each other.
Yeah, nothing's secret anymore.
And there's all the other things. It's like you don't know who these guys are associated with. It's like we've got a respected newspaper called The Times and a normal, red top called The Sun, right? And the Times and The Sun are owned by the same people. And journalists from both write things for both newspapers, and there's also copy is sent out via the press association on things, and that's just like you having Twitter.
Yes,
and,
up here in the box.
Yeah. I mean, we're using a lot of stuff from.
We got a red flag.
Autosport Live, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got what's this? A 5th red flag of the day. Something like that. Yeah, so the red flag is out. 4th restart this morning, so it's a 5th red flag. And we don't know if it's Vettel or Verstappen. Octavius is saying it's Vettel who has called it out for us, so we'll wait to see.
Well, I hope it's not Verstappen because they had problems yesterday with Checo.
Yeah, they did the limited runnings. As I said, day 1, Red Bull with Verstappen did 687 kilometres. Yesterday, they only did 364 kilometres. So
and just
half that.
Just like how
it's Vettel. Vettel has caused it. Vettel's caused the red flag. A 5th red flag this morning.
A 3 pence right? Screw once stopped Damon winning the Grand Prix. Yesterday's Alpha problems were the less than 50 quid, the two problems.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
And
yet
it stopped all the money they got they used to come here.
Yeah, sorry, session will not restart. That's it. The session's over.
Yeah, but all the money they used to come here and less than 50 quid's worth of parts stopped them running for most of the day.
It was ridiculous. Octavius here said fuel ran out, ? And I reckon he's right, because we know the teams, especially like to run their cars out to know when the absolute cutoff is.
Yeah, that's something that they've done for years. It's not
a car problem. It's just the fuel. Yeah, they've deliberately run the fuel out.
It's not something that's ideal because of the fact that if the fuel does run out, the computer goes a bit haywire and has to be reset.
Yeah, so I think that's what's happened. To be fair, unless he's crashed somewhere, it's just
it's a lot easier than it used to be. I mean, your mum used to. Oh, she'll kill me again.
God.
Right, your mum used to run out of petrol in one of her cars quite regularly, and around 2 or 3 times, and it was to get it started again. You had to really pump the accelerator
to kick it
once
back,
and hope that there's enough juice in the battery to keep going. I
still remember we nearly ran out of diesel. That diesel red car we had for a while when your Laguna was being serviced.
that was I mean, when you think of the fact that she used to have a Renault Espace 3-litre automatic that used to give you around about, 15 miles to the gallon, right? That was really expensive to run, but lovely machine. It was like a hotel room inside.
Oh, it was big on these. Fantastic.
Big with lovely seats that
recline, turned around, everything. You could, if you wanted to, you could have the.
Yeah, there was places to put a table in. You could buy a table from Renault and put it in.
I wish we still had that. Do you know why? Because I saw an image that when it came out in the 1990s, NBC or ESPN, whichever one, in America couldn't afford to pay Bernie the commentary box fees for them. So they took a van and a Spass and turned it into the commentary box by turning the 2 seats around, putting in a table and the TVs, and having the 2 seats right at the back where the boot is as the commentary chairs.
So your mum's a Spass, right? £20 a day, £25 a day, petrol, right? That little Cinquecento Fiat.
Yes. That was a beautiful little car, wasn't it? That was so fast as well.
£7 would last you 3 days.
I know. It was
unbelievable difference. But
do you remember?
I had no room.
Yeah, well.
Whenever I went in, I was like this.
Yeah, I didn't.
But it was a little. I loved the car.
It was a little tiny and red.
I loved that little car. My favourite. I mean, I've got a T-shirt which I'll wear someday.
With yours.
With my Samba, Talbot Samba, which is basically which firm was it? Was it Renault?
Renault owned Samba, I think. Yeah,
I think Talbot was a Renault thing. I think.
Do you remember when we had 3 cars with that little red car? I think it was Jack, wasn't it? Jack and Kellyanne were down, and he had that strange golden coloured Ford. So,
the Focus.
Yeah, it was Christmas. No, it wasn't Christmas. When was it? No, it must have been Christmas. It had to be somewhere around then.
We at the old house, we used to get the neighbours complaining because we had 3 cars in a caravan.
Yeah, that was answering the truth. But do you remember?
And when you live next door to a football ground, its
space is premium.
Space is premium, especially on match day.
Don't you remember that we could get that little red car in the space between the garden? We could, if we wanted to, we could put that car in the garden, no problem. It would go in and out so easy. And then we put your car in. And
it's only the fact we've got 2 sets of gates that mean you can't get 4 cars down there.
Yeah, you could easily have 4.
It's a long driveway.
Yeah, it's a very long driveway. You could easily have 4. And plus with the
Next
garage,
to the house.
with the garage, you could easily get, I think, 5 cars in here, don't you think? 1 over there, 1 here.
And how would you, if we had a car
how would you get
garage,
it out? Yeah.
Right, what would we do with all the junk?
It's a hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we could realistically, with the
you
garage
could
being this
actually
big.
get 2 Cinquecentos in this garage. It's quite a big garage.
Yeah, it's bigger.
In fact, a Cinquecento and a Focus
Yes.
going here.
Yeah, it would. Yes, it would actually. We are filling because the session will not resume, but we've got to make our quota of meeting the checkered flag coming out because Vettel has stopped on the track with 5 minutes to go, and that's brought the red flags out. The 5th red flag of this morning's session, and it has been confirmed it won't resume because the errors in sectors 11 and 12. So that's at the back half of the track.
Yeah, Ted's been had to say that a certain Ferrari driver, he actually managed to confuse him with that baby bell.
Just quickly as well, we've been told that Russian forces have reached Kiev after unleashing airstrikes on the Ukrainian capital. Oh, that's not good news, and that's not what we like to read at all at the moment. But
let's hope it's a peaceful occupation in the end, and
it ends quickly as well. Yeah.
The less amount of people, the better that get hurt in all this.
Gunter Steiner has spoken
on both sides.
Gunter Steiner has spoken to Craig Slater, so that is on Sky Sports News as well. We'll clip that and get it to you this afternoon.
Yeah, once we've actually took all the swear words from Gunter out.
Yes, and edited it as well. We have a photo actually of what has caused this red flag. Yeah, where is it?
A photo, lad.
If I can get to it, I need to hit P7. Here we go. This is Vettel, and the car's smoking.
That looks water. That looks steam.
Yeah, so
it's white.
Oh, that's a long way away. So that's the close-up as we can get it. Can we zoom in? Is there a way that we can zoom in? I hope we can zoom in.
Joshua's now playing to see if he can zoom in.
Yep, the checker flag is out, by the way, so the session is over.
You look like you've zoomed out rather than zoomed in.
Hang on, if I can zoom in. Hey. No, it's not going to let me.
Nope.
That's annoying. Anyway, there you go. That's the best image I can get of it, of Vettel stopping out on the track and causing the red flag. Yeah, that's steam. So something's come loose there. Probably a pressure loss like we had for Alonso this morning. No issues there then. F1 will not race in Russia. That's just been confirmed. The Russian Grand Prix has been cancelled for 2022. So that's the breaking news just coming in from what we've heard as the red flag is out. That the official Grand Prix of Russia is off. Right.
I mean, could you imagine, everybody, that what backlash Formula One would get if it went to Russia at this moment, right? Hopefully, things will sort everything out, and Sochi will be back on the calendar next year.
It won't. This was supposed to be Sochi's last race because next year it goes to St. Petersburg.
Yeah, but I don't think he's got the money for that now.
I don't think the Russian Grand Prix will return. Which means, on one note though, the boring track of Sochi actually ended on a great high with a great race with Lando Norris in the rain.
It was a good race last year.
I absolutely the right decision not to go there.
We're trying to be neutral, but we're very much with Ukraine on this.
And it's the right. I'm trying to get up the actual thing because it's been emailed to me, but
I don't like seeing people get hurt on either side.
Absolutely, I'm going to have to click it on here. Actually, let's just click it here because we've got the official news and statement. So I'll open it up in full page that we can read it. F1 confirms it will not race in Russia this year. The Russian Grand Prix. It's updating, you see. Yes, accept all cookies. Come on, just let me do the report, then we can go for lunch. This year's Russian Grand Prix will not go ahead. Formula One has confirmed. Oh dear. This series has been under pressure to cancel the race, which is due to take place on September the 25th, following Russia's invasion of Ukraine yesterday. F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali held a meeting with team principal yesterday. In a statement on Friday, F1 said, let's get rid of that because I don't know what that's going to bring up as well on adverts. Going forward, the FIA Formula One World Championship visits countries all over the world with a positive vision to unite people, bringing nations together. We are watching the developments in Ukraine with sadness and shock and hope for a swift and peaceful resolution to this present situation. On Thursday evening, Formula One, the FIA and the teams discussed the position of our sport, and the conclusion is, including the view of all relevant stakeholders, that is impossible to hold the Russian Grand Prix in the current circumstances. So the Russian Grand Prix is off, and now we have to see what is going to happen.
And the Turkish Grand Prix, as we said yesterday, when they actually started selling tickets, it was on yesterday. So this a lot of pressure had been put on by people, and it's the right thing to do because I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine what these people in Ukraine are going through?
Yeah.
It's frightening, isn't it?
It's horrible, and I hope that there's a situation before the end of the weekend as well, because it's got to be dealt with quite quickly, and hopefully it will be dealt with.
Well,
quite
it's been
quickly.
going on for 8 years, so
Yeah.
since the what you call a puppet government was ousted in favour of the present one, and that annoyed them 8 years ago when they marched into Crimea and things like that. But it's not. It's a very difficult situation because half the people in Ukraine are Russian, so it's a difficult one. It's a bit like the Ireland situation, which there's no winners in this, is there?
No, there's not.
And to do what he's doing, when he knows he's an intelligent man, he knows there's no winners, and it's cost them a Grand Prix that brought a lot of money in. But he's not going to be worried about that because he's not worried about sanctions of any type. And who was top this morning then?
Russell, let's go through the times before we get back to everything. Here's the times then from this morning's Day 3 morning session. George Russell, the fastest for Mercedes, a 1:19.233. Max Verstappen is second for Red Bull, a 1:19.756. Sebastian Vettel, third fastest on a 1:19.824. Charles Leclerc, fourth on a 1:19.831. Nicholas Latifi is fifth on a 1:26.99. Lando Norris, sixth on a 1:28.27. Fernando Alonso, seventh on a 1:21.242. Guan Yu Zhou, 8th on a 1:21.939. Pierre Gasly, 9th on a 1:22.469. Alexander Albon, 10th on 1:22.652. And Nikita Mazepin, 11th on a 1:26.229 as well. And we've got this weird statement that's just come through from Trackside, from one of the reporters out there for Autosport. Vettel has been thoroughly dousing his car in extinguisher and directing the marshals for more. A bizarre screaming noise came from the car at one point as they covered it in the extinguisher. It smells like an electrical fire. That's bad.
Yeah, because that would burn with a white smoke as well, wouldn't it? Because it's Anyway.
And it looks like Turkey
they've obviously turned the engines up, the top teams, after getting beaten the last time.
Yeah.
Ferrari's still within striking distance of the Mercedes and the Red Bull, and Aston Martin are as well. And we won't see. I don't think we won't see the true extent of these new cars until that first race.
Yeah.
It's not something
qualifying.
I don't think we will see until qualifying of the first race. Actually, the full extent of what everybody has done. I don't believe the Haas time, that is two-way out. Everyone else is within 3 seconds, and the Haas is 7 seconds behind.
Yeah, that's massively off the pace.
That's massively off the pace, and we expected Haas to be above the Alfa Romeos and the Alfa Tauris.
Taking a look at it,
to some
though,
extent.
Schumacher yesterday was the highest Haas car, I believe. No, Mazepin was yesterday. 1:21.512 was his fastest time. So
yeah, they don't
seem
to be able to repeat that today. So whatever they were trying on the car today didn't work.
Yeah. Another update.
Maybe the stickers that they've taken off have had an effect.
That could actually be, because we know actually they do actually cause slight differences. Not 6 seconds, but yeah. Going on as well, the marshals are blowing the extinguisher substance off the track now, and the Aston Martin car is on the track, with Vettel also heading back to the pits. And while this has been going on, F1 has announced the Russian Grand Prix is off following the Ukraine invasion as well. And if that's off, then we must assume that the Ukulari and Haas deal is off, and that Mazepin is also out of Formula One. Both of them.
Well, we will see. That would be the right thing to do, I think. But that's up for the FIA and Liberty to make a decision on that with Haas.
Absolutely right.
So who will provide the money? I mean, surely
Gene Haas have to be.
Well, Gene, he doesn't like spending that much money on things. It takes money off his other racing series. Maybe the American government will loan them the money.
That's a possibility. Although, if they're going for a war effort, would they have it to spare?
Yeah, this is America.
Yeah, I hope so. Morning summary then. Russell puts Mercedes on top for the first time. Best lap of a 1:19.233. It's at the softest C5
What time is it?
tyres. It's 10 past 12.
You're 10 minutes into ABC's Good Morning America.
Yes, Alpine ends its test early after a hydraulic issue. Haas limited to 9 laps by a suspected oil leak. 5 red flags in total. Mercedes on 66, Red Bull 59 and McLaren 52 are the ones to clear the 50-lap barriers this morning as well. Not bad.
There was a strange head-on collision in the Bronx yesterday. I think it was the Bronx, where where a bus and a car hit head-on, and then the bus managed to hit a telegraph pole. And do you know, like when a bike runs into the back of a car and you get that
The little bend. Yeah,
that,
I know what you
that
mean.
little
Dent,
bend.
Yeah,
There's a bend like that in the front of the bus. Yeah,
that's not great. Anyway,
thankfully nobody was seriously hurt. I think it was just cuts and bruises. I think
we were waiting to see if there was going to be anything from Craig Slater at the circuit, but Sky Sports News are too busy with 4 pundits standing around a trophy for the Carabao Cup. That's taking part tonight.
Ted and Rachel are actually filming stuff in different places, and I know that there are some. We're also taking feeds from FOM.
Yes, so they're all doing everything. Yeah.
What's her name?
Rosanna.
Rosanna Tennant is doing some interviews and things like that. So hopefully we'll get a few interviews when it comes to the main shows tonight.
Hopefully so, yeah. Right, okay, that's it then. Russell has topped the morning session. And now one more left then, the 6th and final session. We're underway at 4 o'clock UK time. That's 5 o'clock for Central European time.
And Ted used where we met you last year.
Yes, he went up to the
balcony and did what you did, which was stare into the motorhomes, because the second story of the motorhomes, where all the offices are, like when they're doing all the analysis and things like that. And Ted went up there with his cameraman yesterday.
Exactly what I did.
Zoomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, don't zoom, which usually means zoom.
Yeah.
And he zoomed in. And I think it was, from what I remember, I think it was Alpha Atari were the only ones who realised that they were doing it.
And move things around, yeah. Well, to be fair,
they turned the lights off on the thing, so you couldn't actually see them until the camera,
was right there. To be fair, even when I was doing it, nobody noticed when I was just walking up and down. I think the football show has ended. Yeah, they've gone for Prix, so we're not going to have any.
Yeah, because they like people being able to look, but they don't like any of the media to be up there with cameras.
No,
just in case they see something. Because you can see great. I mean, those long range zoom things that they use at football, right? The photographers, you could easily get a picture of a laptop.
To be fair,
through those windows.
Ted was wiser.
At night.
Yeah, Ted was wiser than me. He did it late at night when nobody was there.
The lights are out, and it was only the emergency lighting on the side, which he was reading his book from.
Yeah, I did it 5 minutes after the end of the test.
Yeah.
I came down from the big open balcony of the pit lane and went down.
And he had that baby bell in his pocket and ate it.
Yeah,
at the end of the show.
I would have done that. Although it must have been
I wouldn't have done that because I can't eat cheese.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah, I wouldn't have eaten that baby bell. Anyway, we're not having anything, so we better go off for lunch.
Okay.
As well.
And Megan will be hopefully here later on.
Absolutely. So it's Russell top for the morning. See you later, Dad. It's Russell top for the morning, and the press conference is live with Sainz, Albon, Bottas, Stroll, and Schumacher have been drafted in. We'll be back 4 o'clock this afternoon British time. That's 5 o'clock Central European time. Bye for now.